All right, we are now at 10. I'm trying to get to Terra in the Dark. It's the only reason I'm doing variants. Otherwise, I wouldn't be touching variants at all. I thought I said we're overpowered, but oh no, I knew we were doing. I was supposed to do beast mode. I said I was going to do beast mode yesterday, but I think earlier on the tutorial show I said I was doing we're overpowered. Whoops. So we need one more adventurer variant. Well, there aren't any other adventures, so we got to do another variant. And the quickest one is going to be Mad Cow Disease because we'll just click through it. We'll click through it. Meaning I'm just gonna put familiars out here and I'm just gonna level up my click damage. Now it says claim rewards. What did I get? Oh, hey. Got a gold chest. Sure. Thanks. Okay. I want Jarlaxle for gold find. I'll still build this layout. The rough. I forgot to save my formation again. I'm so bad. I'm a baddie. I'm a baddie. All right. What else do I want to do? I wanted to go buy more silver chests. Silver chests, silver chests. They drop gear, but it's shitty. And yet still necessary. Nope, just got all whites. All right. Yeah. That's what I get for making fun of them. That's what I get for making fun of them. They heard me. By the power of Sordle. I think that would be better, you think? And you hoist Sordle in the air? Yeah. Beast mode, I didn't put Tyrellin in bear form? No, that's not optimal. That's suboptimal. Yeah, for those of you who are just getting the code from the screen, there's actually a couple bonus codes in chat for people that use the command. It's because Monday and Tuesday I canceled streams, but I had already had codes generated, so they need to get used before they expire. I'm not one of those to waste codes. Back in my day, we didn't waste codes. We put in codes uphill and downhill. Tempted to use speed potions to get through this quicker, but I won't. I want to store up. I want to be good about using my potions. I know I'm going to need them. I'm going to need potions for Dragon Bait. Might need potions for Azaka. We'll see when we get there. I mean, we're going to need some potions stocked up for when we want to do a good solid favor push in Tomb of Annihilation. So, yeah. Well, that is fun. Yeah, Moan for Logue. You can do it for that way. We liked Soho Honk Glam is a new... Soho Honk is a thing cabbies do in New York, but Soho Honk Glam is the new fashion trend that we've decided. And starting D&D campaign on a certain path and then quickly going off the rails is a classic way it goes. Why not Nautical Champions also? Yeah. Yeah. In this case, we're going to do the Grand Tour of the Sword Coast campaign. Oh, hey, we just met Dritz, and he's joined our party. Let's go to Tomb of Annihilation instead. Oh, it's be that way sometimes. What are rails? I will say, like, when I was doing my first, we started my first ever campaign with me as a dungeon mat. Well, period. But I was being the DM, and there was going to be some rails. There weren't going to be a lot of rails, but there were going to be some rails. It was kind of sometimes the rails are. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but if you're not stopping the bad things, the world's gonna get real bad real fast, and then and then it's gonna be in your face whether you like it or not. So unlike in video games where time doesn't mean anything. Although lately there is some, like, even in Baldur's Gate, there were some quests where, yeah, if you didn't do them in a certain time frame, you lost the chance. Things went worse. Yeah, that was pretty representative. Felt like of a good dungeon master experience. Right, the quests, adventure quests don't show how many you've done if you track them when you have a patron on? I don't know. For some reason, the tracker isn't showing up yet for me on this account. Also, I don't have any patrons here, and I haven't been playing my main account because I've been playing this one since this came out, so I don't know. Hey, Lediath. Things are okay. We just did a favor run. I got to 3.8 EO8, which I really needed. I really needed enough to buy that, and I'm a ways off. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. But what I'm going to do right now, though, oh man, I can't even buy all of this. It's a rude game. It's rude. All right. Let's get some more damage over here for Jarlaxle. That's about all we got. This one doesn't mean anything to me, like reducing attack speed or making them attack faster. I need damage. I'm not having a problem with them clearing the waves. I am having a problem with them just killing a single thing. So we've upped some damage. Same over here. I don't. If Jarlaxle is my DPS, he's the heavy hitter. There's no reason for me to upgrade quick hitters until I'm using a DPS that has a fast cooldown, right? A fast attack speed. And then I'm not really using ultimates. So even though it's an insignificant amount of favor to put into them, I'm just not going to bother. For the moment. For the moment. So right now we're just gonna basically click through mad cow disease. So we only have to go 100 areas, and then we'll be on to Terror in the Dark, and we can start progressing in the campaign again. Terror in the Dark is like just a stop sign, and it's like, yeah. Yours showed a 0 of 50, and you had 49 done. So yeah, there's this problem with Codename Entertainment's code at times where they trigger some of these tracking things that are like a 0 to 49 or something, but they have them set in the back end as a binary, done or yes or no for done or not. And so they don't actually track that progress, and they'll sit there at 0 to 50 until you get 50, and then it'll show as completed. I don't know why. So if you submit, I would submit a ticket and point that out, and then they'll look in and they'll probably be like, oh, yeah, we didn't even have that one set to track right, because that's how a lot of their stuff works. Like a lot of their achievements work that way, and it's annoying. Gem one's probably hashtag worth, even though it's like 20% of your favor. I mean, here's the thing. I think what's probably going to happen is after we grab Drizzt, if we didn't somehow increase our power by then to be able to get up to like 5 EO9 to be able to buy that without the warning coming up, then we're going to go to Tomb anyway, and I may very well just tank my favor in Sword Coast to have those gems earned in Tomb of Annihilation. Gems are they're worth it. Do another push and buy it. You have enough? No, I don't, because I used epics for that push. So I really screwed myself by not. I should have started. Well, I didn't have any of these when I did my first push, but that's the thing. Once you start using epics to deep push with, if you don't have more, you're not getting further. You're not the next run. It's just not happening. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Again, we will try in a bit with some of these other, like we're going to be doing just regular adventures. And we'll do a couple of those, and then maybe we'll have enough gems to get some gear. Maybe we'll have gotten enough gems to get everybody to green, and then I can pop all these gold chests, and that'll give us a lot of power. Blue is where everyone really comes online in terms of itemization. So the premium familiar. I don't have any premium familiar. I guess technically this one might be considered a premium, which it shouldn't be. This is the Gwenevere familiar, and it's free. So if you come in here and you go over to packs, it'll be the one at the top left, and it'll be free. So it's probably classified as a premium, but it's for $0, and it comes with those epic potions. So you grab that right away. But that's because I know it's there, right? So yeah, she might be considered a premium. Let's see, where is she? What the hell there? Yeah, she's considered premium, but she's free. She's 100% free. No. So enjoy that, I guess. Yeah, that's, I don't know. Are they showing a dollar price? But yeah, it's Guinevere's always been free. I don't think the idea was ever to charge for her. I hope not. Well, we haven't been super punny today, Zoldan, but who knows? You know what I really need to... do I have... do have a potion of specialization. I can't remember exactly when Hitch becomes a better DPS than Jarlaxle. I should have tested on that last round. I didn't realize I had a spec potion. That'll have to be something that happens on a deep run. Well, actually, just yeah, I have to happen at a deep run at a wall to really get an idea. Yeah, there is a different version of Guinevere that's a cash one, but when you open up the shop, it should just be the first thing at the top left. It should be the free Guinevere. All right, so far, the notes I've taken down for future guide stuff. I've got campaign unlock requirements. I've got patron unlock requirements. I've got a list of the Sword Coast variants in order that I think you should do them in as a new player to get to Terra in the Dark, because apparently past Gar forgot to put that list in the new player reference, and current Gar thought that past Gar did. Guy. Yeah, so now I've got a list in order. Don't know that. I don't know if there's anything else to note so far. The guide stuff. I did make notes about. I've been trying to track like any tutorial pop-ups that are weird. Well, I tracked that the quest tracker doesn't seem to be available for new players, which is weird. Let me move this over so that they're right next to each other on my list of too many tabs open in my notepad. All right. Lots of notes for future guides and also feedback for the devs. Wish there was a sort for the store. Yeah, I think like they do too. I think it's one of those things where it's probably on their list for once the collections is in a good place and events 2.0 are in a good place, then they can start going back through and really working on other things. And I'm pretty sure that's on their list from Dev Insights, is better sorting in the store. Oh, Adwin Hatch. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We should also just check Ashara, right? Yeah, she's got Charisma 14. He doesn't necessarily come online immediately either, so we did use her on a run and she did great. But I don't know if there's a specific point. Doesn't all your event guides have a thing about when to use Hitch over Jarlaxle? I mean, I talk about, at some point switch to Hitch, and I usually use my second recommended formation is a Hitch formation. But honestly, I'm tempted to go back through and just make that Ashara. Just I don't know. It's probably better and isn't confusing to people. Did I ever get my gem farm sorted on main? I haven't had time, no. I haven't had time. If you're brand new and want to get split the party open, what champion is priority to get in every slot? Oh, that's... Oof. It doesn't really work that way. I mean, so here's how you would decide preference, because it's not always. How do we best explain this? Man, I should probably add this explanation to the split the party guide, right? For me, your priority selection should be so there's three ways to get champions. One is in events, and you don't have a choice. Well, I guess now you are, because you're going to have flex slots. Oof. So events, time gates, events, natural time gates, and paid time gates. There's your three ways you're usually making choices about champions. But you only get choices now in events 2.0 and your paid time gates. And your natural time gates, you don't get, it's just going to serve you up 3 champions at random. So you have to think about it as priorities. And your first priority pick would be a speed champion that you don't have yet. So speed, priority number 1. early game, because you can complete. Like what's causing us to slow down here? In nothing. I mean, we have the damage to complete the goals of these quests. If we can pick up speed champions, we finish them faster, which means we earn gems faster and we progress through the game faster. So speed, first priority. If there's a speed champion available, that's your priority in a natural time gate weekend, and from any option in an event. Picking up speed champions if they're available. Again, I think first priority in an event. Second rung on the ladder is strong pushing champions. So what, a priority in there goes to what we now call mathematically overpowered champions, or MOP champions, where they've just got an ability with an item support that just, when you invest in them, makes them just do wild stuff. So that's, but then just any other kind of really strong pushing champion would be in that second tier. And then down in the third tier is really for, like, look, if it's all you got, like if it's available and it's going to get you a second champion in a slot that you don't have a second champion in, or third or fourth, as you go through split the parties, take it, right? Like if you get a natural time gate weekend and none of them are speed champions and none of them are OP champions, but one of them gets you a champion you need in a slot where you only have one champion, you take that one, right? So the default is anyone that gives you a second champion. But speed, then pushing power, and then whoever gets you to the next split the party. I'd say that's probably the priority order. Now, who's in those lists? Oof, that's a long conversation. I think my Speed Champions 101 post should have all but, or Speed 101 should have all but Dynahair. I need to go back and, hold on, now I'm pulling that up right now, because I just realized we need to add Dynahair to the list. Yeah, we don't have Dynahair. Okay. Oh no. What slot is she in again? She in 3? Somebody tell me what slot Dynahair is in. I think it's 3. 2? 3? I got people. What, 2? Oh no. I don't have my main client open. I don't know. I can't check. 12. C3 same as Artemis. That's right. Because she's in the slot. Artemis and Spurt are unresolved problems in Idle Champions, and they create, whenever you add anybody into their slots, those champions just, nobody cares. Okay. So I just added Dynahair to the list, and then I got to go down here. She reduces quest requirements, so we'll add her in down here on that. No. She gives you extra credit. Chance to drop extra quest time. Yeah, that's it. Okay. You're in that list. Saying she does something she doesn't do. No. And then I forgot we have this table down here. Gotta put her in this too. All right, we'll have to get some more information about her in a second. But yeah, so Speed Champions 101 should give you the list of speed champions that, are priority, I think, for picking up, for filling in your slots for Split the Party. And then Blacksmithing Contracts 101 would give you a list of mathematically overpowered champions. So some combination of those two things would help you there. But yeah, so it's not a very super clear cut, because it really just depends on kind of like when you start and, who do you have, which ones did you pick up from events, like who was available in an event and what were you able to pick up, and and then what shows up on a natural time gate weekend. And so what you have to learn is just how to make a good educated decision about who to pick up, right? What's so good about Birdstrong now? After her rework, all of her numbers just went and everything. So she's just ridiculously strong. I don't know what to tell you. She's just straight up really, really good buffer who is also a DPS, so can buff themselves. Yeah, what's not to love about that? Strongheart's still a go-to without seasons. Strongheart is still a mathematically overpowered champion. So he drops down in the priority list for me. But from like he used to be above tier 1, right? It used to be grab all this tier 1 would bump down in like priority what it used to be event champions and Strongheart. And now that whole tier is gone. So the highest tier is just now speed champions, and then you go to pushing champions, which Strongheart is one of. Yeah. How do you feel about Strix? I liked her a lot, but she seems to fall off. I mean, she's better now than she used to be. Because you can build it to extend her debuff range to the entire screen, which was her big problem before. Yeah, but I haven't necessarily played her a lot with her as DPS or support now, outside of her season. So I mean, she's functional. She wasn't always functional before. So she's functional now. She's a solid champion. She's just not like overpowered. What about OP champions? Some are OP, but only in high item levels. Well, yeah, but that's why I said. I mean, they're ultimately going to be strong pushing champions, and anybody who's mathematically overpowered. Well, not anybody. A lot of the supports that you're picking up that are mathematically overpowered, and those would take priority for me over DPS champions on that mop list. The support champions, you can use them with so many different DPS champions, whereas you're only going to want one of the mathematically overpowered DPS champions, right? But people like Antreus can be good right away. People like Krull can be good right away. But if you're picking up, if you're trying to build out split the party, again, speed is a priority. The pushing power is second, because pushing power is going to need you to build out items and item levels to really come online. Jefe, would you recommend opening split the party soon after meeting the minimum requirements? The second you qualify, do it. Yeah, it was split the party 1, split the party 2, split the party 3. The second you qualify, you can do it. I know, because I do it on new player accounts with core champions. And I did it on a new player run with core champions where I was like, I'm only opening silver chests. So the highest gear I had was blue, and I still completed them all. So you can do it. You can do it. Split Party 2 is the important one. That's the fast core. So I used to say, prioritize all the split the parties, but now I'm like, well, let's prioritize split the party 2, getting the split the party 2. Then you can slow down a little bit. Then you want to prioritize your gem farm and leveling up your fast core. Looking at the Blacksmithing 101, it's a pretty long list. That's not your recommended priority, right? No, that's just a list. I'm just listing off all of the champions that have mathematically overpowered abilities based off the definition that I create in that guide. I'm not rating them. I don't do tier lists. I'm just giving you a list. Yeah. I don't do champion ratings except for Karlach. Karlach is Bay. That's her champion rating. Bay tier. Just not Michael Bay tier. That's at the bottom. Spicy takes. Okay, I need to. While this is progressing, I'm going to open up my guide to Dinah here and just make sure I have her information right for adding her in to this speed guide. Dinah hair bouncing here and there and everywhere. I confused the heck out of Pete, the person who designs the champions. When I was like, I can't stop singing this song. And he was like, what's that from? And I was like, and I started singing the whole thing and he still couldn't get it. And I was like, it's Gummy Bears, Pete. Come on. He was like, ah. Oh, it was funny. Okay, so let's see. Dinah here does have feats for that. Does have an item. I'm going to slot 3. Does not have a specialization, right? No. Okay. Feats are Flame Dragons, Word, and Treasures of Ball. Okay. Cool. I will update that. See if I'm missing anything else here. No, I think that's it. All right. For anyone playing the home game, it looks like the Speed Champions guide got over 11,000 total views with a 91% upvote rate. That's nice. Those stats will go away soon, I'm sure. They don't stick around forever. Okay. Close this. Back over here. Oh. Where are we at? 87. We should be able to get to 87 at least. And then I'll have to actually level up my champions. We'll go ahead and level up our tank, just in case. And some protectiveness. All right. That's weird, Ledia. I don't know. And find Michael Bay movies to be a transformative experience. Well done. Well done. Yeah, I'm not saying Michael Bay doesn't have some enjoyable movies. Some are even pretty good. Just it's not as Bay as Carlock. They're not as Bay as Carlock. We're on ad break, I just noticed. So I will continue in chat in about 15 seconds. About 15 seconds. Gotta remember to take a snack break today. I got chips. I got chips out. They're just sitting here. Making me want to eat them. We'll do that in like a half an hour. All right, we're back. Did we chat about the Tier 4 target zones yet for Events 2.0? Nope. They look solid. They look solid. I'd say based off that, the game could support Tier 5. Yeah. I do know that. I mean, I was told, and I think they said publicly. I know I was told privately, but I think they've said this publicly. Ooh, whoops! If not, that they did very much realize that some variants were impossible at those goal levels, and that they were going to have to go in and modify how those variants work. And they would do that on a per event basis, like they would basically be doing a pass on all the champions that were in each event to make sure that those were doable. Whether they've said that about things before, though, and then not done them, so we're going to find out on Wednesday, right? Yeah. So, Caddy Brie alone, 1600. Look, Caddy Brie alone, I love it. It's one of my favorite event variants, and I'm almost okay with it. Almost okay with it. Nowadays, you can bring so many other champions in. It feels like, but I mean, Dungeon Master will let you bring in. You can get Dungeon Master and one other just right there. But if Dungeon Master triggers into somebody that can bring in other things, like if Dungeon Master triggers into Mehen, then suddenly you've got Caddy Brie and 4 other champions in. Like, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Whether they manually change the goal levels for some like that, or whether they change just how that variant functions completely, I don't know. And we're gonna have to wait and see. Justin said that in the well. I don't go to the well, so I don't know what goes on there. I think if I ever went to the well, the only thing I would type would be, well. What do we have here? And then I wouldn't say anything else, like ever, probably. What's the well? It's the well of spoilers in the Discord. It's basically if you want to be all the people that dig into the game files, and then want to talk about it, they can go there. And it disappoints me that the developers go and talk there, because I feel like any developer conversation should be for the entire community, and for people who don't want to be spoiled, who won't go in there. We don't want to. It's not fair for us, like to us, to have to risk being spoiled on stuff just to keep up with developer conversations. Like, they should just comment on stat stuff in the tavern. Yeah, I mean, there's buffs that they could give Caddy Brie and Caddy Brie alone, just like they did in the Rosie and in the Bee Stinger one for Rosie and Strix, where you can just get buffs like every number of levels that would just let her wreck stuff. Yeah. Free alpha bug reporting channel. If it's not in the game yet, you don't know that that's actually how it's going to release, to be quite frank. And even if it does a lot, that still doesn't mean that's always how it's going to happen. I've just worked with too many devs to know that just because stuff's in the game files doesn't mean it's going to show up in the game that way. So fulfilling split the party shop to the patron shop here unlocks might help you while you wait time gates and events. Yeah, but then the first split the party, you shouldn't have a patron yet. Or you just got Mert and you probably wouldn't be at a place where you could get something. But maybe for 2 or 3. Maybe for split the party 2 or 3, sure. Yeah. It is an interesting thing that you can basically skip time gates and stuff by just investing heavily into patron stuff. It just doesn't work for all the patrons, unfortunately. Oh yeah, the segmented health one, yeah. Ugh. So yeah, they just got to cap some of that stuff, right? We're almost done. We're only going with this with variants. I just go to the completion level and then we bounce. So just got to get to 100, complete 100. I think my favorite change about Events 2.0 is that you don't have to wait on tokens at all. You can just dive right in and start doing stuff, because tokens aren't required for starting any content in events now. Well, once 2.0 arrives. So just sitting down on day one and just, hey, I'm just going to do all the variants for this champion. Like that's cool. That's cool. And of course, somebody's going to fly through them all in like 30 minutes. Because of course they are. Nice. Oh, Wellerman's a good, that's a good sea shanty. Yeah. My favorite change is not having to do area 50 loops. Yeah. I mean, that's right. That's up there. I always did those AFK, so it wasn't horrible, but it was time away from doing other things. Yeah. Definitely lots of good changes coming in Events 2.0. I'm still on the fence about the support slot. I get it. And honestly, as long as they, it's almost kind of smart, because if they price these, special event-related DLC in a friendly way that's cheaper than unlocking that champion from a pack, then that could be fantastic for them, right? All right, there we go. No one asked about the 1,000 bounty contract. Well, I don't think it wasn't in the thing, but it said, that's something that part of like iterative quality of life. I don't think that's coming on Wednesday. Okay, folks, we have now unlocked